I call to order the Friday, July 25th, 2025 meeting of the Finance Committee of the Albany Parking Authority. In attendance of myself, Bill Pettit, and Georgine Jones as board member and staff members. I want to see if there's acceptance for the minutes of our April 18th meeting. You're going to have to.
So moved.
And
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well done.
I was.
Now we'll go over the review of the financials. I will turn this over to Sean Palladino.
Thank you, sir. June 2025 financial review. Our goals and objectives: continued focus on training and professional growth, focus on increasing garage occupancy, and as well as pursuing grant opportunities. Our capital improvements and community projects include heated sidewalks, annual repairs and renovations, and mural projects. In our June overview, revenue was $777,184, with our expenses coming in at $748,905, with a net income of $28,278. Our available cash is $3.4 million. Moving on to the net income history, revenues were consistent. Expenses in June are higher due to the wayfinding sign payment of $111,000, some smaller operating costs for enforcement, and our large insurance payment of $80,000, which is our second and last of this year, I believe. Parking revenues. Parking revenues decreased from May to June, but were still higher than projections. Monthly parking slightly increased, while daily parking decreased by $9,000 and event income decreased by $18,000. We'll get into that later on. Our expenses excluding enforcement increased in June, but we're also below projections. This is mostly due to the wayfinding payment of the $111,000 and our second insurance payment of $80,000. Then moving on to meter revenues. Meter slightly declined from May to June. There was a small decline in app revenue, mostly due to the 11-5 moving to Broadway, with Tuesdays and Wednesdays still our top movers in meter days in June. Questions before we move on? Meter daily average. Overall, meter daily average has been steady this year, with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday being our higher utilized days due to the hybrid work schedule still. And then moving on to our monthly and other revenue. Monthly parking increased by $2,000, $1,000 at Green Hudson and $1,000 in our lots. According to our active pass report, the month-over-month change was +9. And our daily garage and lot revenue, we continue to trend above projections. The Riverfront Garage had an abnormal amount of validations this month for the hotel, and some minor increases at Garage 2 and Riverfront Garage. And our revenue summary, just a small decrease in meter revenue, a -3%, as well as our monthly and other revenue, which is just below, not even 1%. With our daily garage and lot revenue still trending well above 30%, with our overall trending over 7% of our forecasted. Just the top 3 events in June were Chris Stapleton, Beach Boys, and Boys Like Girls for the 11-5 emo night. Bill, you were there, weren't you?
I thought the Beach Boys were done.
Just wanted to give everybody an overview of our 2025 year-to-date versus our budget. I'm happy to report that all revenues, with the exception of EV charging, are above 50% of budget. And there is nothing crazy to report there, but it is nice that we're halfway through the year and we're already above revenues. Yeah.
This budget, that's total.
Right. Year to date, yes, sir.
Or is it year to date?
Compared to year to date.
Year to date, year to date?
Mhm.
It's year-to-date compared to our total budget.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry, I'm incorrect.
Because
Yes.
good job
I
on the
apologize.
investment interest.
Yes.
Yeah. We're killing it.
That's where I was going.
Sorry about that. Our debt service investment account, you can see we got quite a drop there. It's because we finally made our payment in July.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah,
Begins again.
yeah, and it begins again, that's right.
Much smaller.
But yes, we did make our payment this month. Everything went smooth.
We're in overdraft, so
Everybody's happy.
Potential overdraft city. I thought there was money in that
Oh,
account.
that one.
Okay.
And our short-term investment account, we're still hovering around the 563,000 mark, with 200,000 in our T-bills and 363,000 liquid. And our long-term investment, we're still hovering around the $726,000, and we will revisit this at the end of the year to see what we can, if anything, put into this account. And then our EV charging investment account, we're almost around the $30,000 mark. It's a nice, that's a nice little piggy bank for us for our repairs and replacements. So we're happy with that. And recently, we have are investigating a possible increase of a couple pennies per kilowatt hour, just to adjust for the inflation of our electricity bill. And that's all I have for the financial review.
Thank you. Excellent. Now moving on to new business.
But
Uh,
for a review of
Sean.
budget, so. Enforcement. Let's see. Okay, so for Q2, in enforcement, we did have a $43,000 decrease. I'm sorry, that's on page 4A.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There it is. Sorry about that.
No, that's all
Right. There was a 43,000 decrease compared to last year. It was mostly from May. It was due to some staffing issues plus some equipment issues that we had in May. It's been, we've been fixed since then and fully staffed. So if you were to look at the comparison from last year to this year, you can tell, you know, there was definitely an issue. We did have a vehicle with some LPR down, and that does hurt quite a bit when we, especially with the hot weather. We don't like to put the guys out there just walking around in 100-degree weather. So we're still in range of our end of year goal. I don't really see it being an issue.
Is there ever really like sort of a way to have a backup whenever something breaks down without it being like a waste of money to just have something sitting?
You know, I wish we did. It's hard because the equipment costs so much. So to be able to have a backup on hand is, I wouldn't say it's impossible. It's just not financially.
Is it a vehicle or is it
Well, in this case, it was both. We did have an issue with the vehicle itself and then with the LPR system on it that we found out after the fact. It's always some kind of an electrical issue. The wires that go into this stuff is unreal.
so he just drives around and doesn't find anything?
Yeah, and we know that though, so it's not like they're just driving around all day and we didn't capture anything. They know right off the rip that it's not capturing, but we also had a warranty issue with the vehicle. You know, fortunately, we do have other vehicles, they're just not equipped with that. So we can, you know, the guys can transport around the city still, you know, and try to stay safe during the hot weather and getting in and out of the car, but LPR, it's not safe.
And they don't make like a portable version, you could just like slide on.
Well, they've been working on that for some years now, where they have they do have a plate scanner for phones. It's just not as reliable as, you know, actual police scanners, so.
Thank you.
Sure. That's all I have for the quarterly review of budget results.
Capital investment strategy.
So this is a little presentation we put together. It's just it's just to kind of get you guys up to speed on, just gonna put on the screen for this. Up to speed on our capital investment strategy so this is kind of a presentation, a pre-presentation, if you will. That will be actually giving you the capital investment strategy by the end of this year, I think, ish.
Okay.
So if the board would like, I could go through that fairly quick.
Sure.
So the agenda on this is obviously the introduction, the assessment of our assets, extending Green Hudson's lifespan, strategies to prepare for the future costs and our expected outcomes. The authority is developing a 5-year capital plan to address existing infrastructure needs. The 5-year capital plan is expected to cost approximately $16 million to be expended between 2026 and 2030, of which we expect to issue bonds for about $10 to $12 million, and also to be funded by a combination of bonds, cash, grants, and other financing loans.
That where the other $4 million comes from?
Yes.
A more comprehensive presentation of the capital plan will be given later this year. This presentation is to discuss some of the findings that occurred during the planning process and our proposed strategy to prepare for the future. This capital investment strategy will influence the fiscal year 2026 annual budget presented to the board in September. The assessment of assets. Every year we complete a conditions report on all 3 of our garage facilities. Due to our proactive approach and annual repair schedules, all 3 facilities remain in good, safe condition. However, the fact remains that Green Hudson Garage is approaching 40 years. A combination of structural age, number of garage levels, and overall usage results in significant wear and tear compared to the other 2 garages. As due diligence for the capital plan, we conducted a life expectancy assessment to determine cost of extending the life plan of the Green Hudson Garage and completing necessary upgrades. So to extend the lifespan of the Green Hudson Garage, we'll need to make significant repairs and upgrades every 5 years. Over the next 30 years, capital investment will total about $12.9 million. Year 1 cost estimates are included in the 2026 to 2030 capital plan. The strategies we are proposing are to address year 6 and beyond. We anticipate using a 30-year bond note to cover the 10 to 12 million of the proposed projects in the 2026 to 2030 capital plan, which includes the year 1 $3 million project in the engineering report. We propose to create a capital investment strategy to set aside funding for capital improvements. And then beginning in 2026, we'll deposit funds into the set aside investment account to prepare for the 5-year cyclical investment. And then we just set up a few examples of what that would look like throughout the years.
So year 1 would be in 2027?
26.
26.
Yeah, so we're showing you this because it's going to be part of the overall budget presentation 2026, so I didn't want to.
No, I get it. So when that year 1 hits, that's due, that amount would be due?
Deposited in a set aside account.
So when would the bond payments be due?
I think we're planning to bond at the end of 2026, so 2027 would be the bond.
Right, would be the start. Yeah.
So this is just a guesstimation of what it would be.
Correct.
To prepare a year in advance. To make sure you have it. Okay.
Which is was that the engineer's assessment, or was that the one?
This is still the engineer's
Gotcha,
assessment.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's based on whatever things cost right now.
They do include a inflation factor.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to be able to we want to extend the life of Green Hudson by 25 to 30 years. Is the plan in a nutshell.
That's the most cost effective.
As opposed to building new.
Correct. Right.
Building new was Matt's idea?
Well,
Sort of, kind of.
no, I mean, it's always been my idea to build new. Matt's idea was to build another
You wanted to end
facility, right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And our expected outcomes. The authority paid the final installment of the 2011 and 2018 bonds on July 10th of 2025, leaving the 2023 bond issuance as the authority's only outstanding pledged debt. As mentioned, the authority is planning to issue the 10 to 12 million in new bonds as part of the 26 to 30 capital plan. This new debt, with the current 2023 bond payment, is expected to make the total annual debt service payment 1.2 to 1.4 million. By comparison, our annual debt service was 1.68 mil in 2022 and increased to about 1.8 in 25. Just to give you an idea that we can handle.
So our debt payment would be less percentage-wise as we go
Right.
forward.
Right. With a lower annual debt service payment, the proposed capital set aside would be the set aside of $359,000 is attainable. The strategy also offer the benefits of future proofing, proactively preparing for future costs, minimizing the potential negative impacts of the unknown future, i.e. Market and economic conditions and interest rates. It helps create resiliency and sustainability by making some long-term objectives remain feasible and planned for. Also, flexibility. Without a plan in place, the authority would be required to issue new debt or potentially strain annual cash flows to pay for the periodic capital investment. By preparing for predictable capital costs, the authority can meet its long-term goals without entering less favorable financing options, straining cash flow, or withdrawing from the reserve accounts. And then maximizing revenues. Although it's not the primary purpose, set aside account for anticipated capital costs would increase annual revenues. This will help the authority's bond rating and debt ratio calculation. So just to give you a little overview of what we're doing and
That
what's to
sounds
come.
great. And we've made the determination that the building is worth
Yeah,
putting the money into.
yeah,
So we're
we,
gonna take a 40-year-old building and make it a 70-year-old building.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think so.
It's green.
Yeah. And, it'll be nice to give it a little bit of facelift to match what's going on in Liberty Park. And, that's kind of our goal and vision. is
Grand,
to-
that's all we need to spend on
Oh,
our
is it?
architect.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Sure.
Do we have any need to go into executive session?
Sorry, I do not.
Do we have anything else that needs to come before the board?
No, sir.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? And a second? And a yay? Thank you all for your attendance. I appreciate it.